All right, I'm excited here, Tyler. This is, it's the second. It's not the first or second time these gentlemen encounter each other, but Gordon had a pretty dominant performance against Yuri the last time they fought. I wonder what Yuri's strategy will be this time.
Yeah,
that's what it comes out. It's a different strategy. I don't know what it's going to be. I suspect he's going to pull guard.
And these guys are starting to have a bit of a relationship in the same way that Buchecha and João Gabriel have a bit of a relationship with the gi, where, you know, João Gabriel has gotten very close many times, but never been able to get the edge on Buchecha. And Yuri, many valiant efforts so far, but yet to overcome Gordon Ryan. And earlier today, lost a match 11-0. It was actually pretty close, and it wasn't until the end that Gordon really racked up the points. But let's see if Yuri's been able to learn something from that first encounter earlier today.
Yeah, and Yuri with the single there, utilizing his wrestling there. See if he can score 2 points on Ryan early in the match. I'm going to go with nothing there.
Yeah,
but
nothing.
Maybe an advantage. Because Yuri, look, had Gordon been hopping out of bounds, that would have been an advantage. That's the difference. It was Yuri pushing out of bounds. Yeah, this is not great for Yuri because they fall exactly back in the position where they were earlier today. And ideally for Yuri, like he gets that single early in the match.
Nice.
That's an ideal scenario for Yuri. But here it's nothing because Yuri's on top. So even if he gets Gordon down, it doesn't matter. What Yuri's got to do is, I think, a similar approach to what Cyborg had, where he's moving to his left exactly, but just engage a little bit more perhaps.
Gordon using that arming guillotine to set up butterfly sweep. He was actually awarded an advantage for the near sweep. One of the referees wanted to call it back, but the other.
I'm not convinced. I would like to see that again. I'm not convinced that was an advantage.
Yeah, I'm not either. I've definitely seen other material like that throughout the day.
It didn't look like he almost, because the criteria for an advantage is are you almost finishing the sweep? Are you close enough to score that point? Was Gordon ever close enough to score a point on Yuri? I didn't feel like it, but I'd have to watch it.
Yeah, and I don't know that it was his intention either to necessarily finish it.
Yeah. And Yuri trying to get close enough to Gordon to apply pressure there by keeping his legs together. That could be a strategy too. Keep his opponent's legs so close together, Gordon can't set up his sweep. Yeah, but that's what Yuri has to avoid right there. That's exactly what.
And Gordon Ryan doing what he's done so well today, and that's getting underneath his
opponents. And there he goes again.
And this is the position that no one has had an answer for here today, and that is that honey hole position, that inside leg reap that Gordon Ryan has been able to set up.
It's basically a tornado sweep, but fishing for the honey hole in the process, right? That's how Gordon pulls it off. Nice defense by Yuri. We were just talking about. So guys are starting to figure out what they can and can't do with Gordon. The question is, like, can they, just because you block it once, can you keep blocking? Because Gordon is so good at that position. But I can see Yuri maybe feeling a little bit more confident now, going, okay, man, I can stop this move. Let's see if I can pass now. I would be trying to pass to the other side, similar to what Cyborg had in mind. I feel that is Gordon's left side is his strong side, which is unusual. Most people who play guard, they tend to play guard on the right side for whatever reason.
And it's certainly one of the things that probably makes Ryan a difficult puzzle to solve.
Yes, it's kind of like being southpaw. If you're a boxer, like boxing a southpaw is always harder because you're not used to training with southpaw training partners as often as you are used to training with, orthodox strikers. Something similar is going on here. When your opponent plays on the left side, it can be very difficult to deal with, just out of custom.
And Ryan, I think one of the questions coming into this tournament was, against all these talented veteran competitors, would he be able to beat them at their game? And, we mentioned before, Ryan, a veteran of many different types of rule sets, but this is not, kind of his preferred one or the one that he's got the most experience in. And so far he's answered that question by saying, yes, he can compete in this rule set with anyone.
Absolutely. And I still want to see him in the gi. I know he's been talking about it for a while. And I mean this, like, honestly, I would like to see how he does it. I think he'll do well. I think he just has to make those adaptations, and he will make them. Oh, this could be bad for Yuri there with that arm stuck. Yeah, you either get the arm or you get the leg stuck, and that's really is, the more I watch Gordon grapple, the more I feel like that's his best weapon there. It's his ability to constantly suck himself underneath you, and then, he goes for the arm, he goes for the leg, whatever he's doing, but he's always moving himself underneath you. And, that's where he sets up all his offense. It's hard to do. It's not easy to do that. He does it really well. We saw him do it to Josh Barnett in Quintet. Josh Barnett heavier than him, very experienced, very accomplished grappler, and he was managed to pull himself underneath Josh like every single time. It was really fun to watch.
And you mentioned, Gordon in the gi and, wanting to see how he would perform there. And I think that it's really a testament to, as Yuri's putting some nice pressure on here, and they settle back into half guard. It's a testament to how talented Gordon Ryan really is that people want to see, how good is he? How is he good with a gi on? Is he good under this rule set? Is he good under that rule set? And I think part of it too is his brash personality, which makes people kind of want to see him exposed in some degree. But he really is a talented guy, and I mean we've seen it on display here so far today.
No doubt. I think there's two things going on here. They're not mutually exclusive. One, he is exceptionally talented. He's young, and he's had a very fast rise to the very top of the food chain. On the other hand, he's marketed himself really well, and some might even say that, a little unfair with other competitors. I think other people out there that have done more than he has, and they have never received that sort of recognition. Bruno Malfacini, for example, comes to mind. I can name you 20 other people who are far more accomplished than Gordon Ryan, but they've never had that sort of variety. And some people would say that's unfair. With that being said, Gordon has backed up so far everything he's been saying about competing under IBJJF rules, and I think soon we're going to see him in the gi. And if he does that too, then I think he'll be reaching that a top echelon of one of the best scrappers of all time. But if you're going to be the king of jiu-jitsu, you're going to have to do a gi, no gi, and that's just the nature of the game. I think guys like Mo Facini could say something like that, or Coyote, but they don't, But Gordon so far has been very, very fun to watch, and I think he's one of the most talented guys I've ever seen in my life. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, especially
and he's not peaked yet. I don't think he's reached his prime yet. I think he's got a few more years to go before he peaks.
Yeah, I think we've seen an evolution in him as well. We get a little stop to the action here because Yuri's bleeding out of his nose here. That actually happened in the first match. I saw that they'd bumped heads and they had to kind of tend to Yuri a little bit. So, I mean, when you get a bloody nose, man, it's just one of those things. It doesn't necessarily heal up instantly, and so.
Yeah. So 4.5 minutes to go. Ryan up by one advantage, not by a lot. Yuri could turn this around. Ryan very aggressive from the bottom. That's one of my favorite things about him. He's very aggressive from the bottom.
And while Ryan does have that advantage from that butterfly sweep we were, kind of going back and forth on earlier today, it's 4 minutes 30 seconds left, and it's still really, really close in this one. So Yuri in a good position to steal this one and correct his loss from earlier today right now.
Yeah, he's got time to do it. I wonder what's going through his head now. If you can listen to his, he's listening to Fabricio Verdun. I think Verdun has got a match scheduled against Gordon soon. But yeah, a lot of people supporting Yuri on this preparation here for the NoGi Worlds. It's fun to watch, man. I think there's such thing as a healthy rivalry. It's entertaining. Get a replay here in a second, guys.
And you're seeing kind of
yeah, it was a bit of a strike to the nose there.
Yeah, Gordon had
too
blood.
Serious.
Yeah, Gordon had a little bit of blood on his leg too. I noticed right before that.
And Yuri's got a. There we go. He's got. The more I think about it, Tyler, the more I feel like Yuri has to look to pass on the outside, and just create a situation where maybe get Gordon to turtle up. Maybe underneath Gordon, try to stack him.
Gordon's too good whenever the guy puts pressure on him because he uses that to scoot his weight underneath of his opponents. We've noticed this a little bit.
Yes. 4 minutes left. Yuri needs to do something. He's got to engage more. He's got to look for that pass. Maybe he's waiting to close to the end of the match to do that.
And Yuri pummeling in here again. That break was actually probably good for our spectators at home. As you can see, both guys had a chance to catch their breath a little bit. You're seeing Yuri. Yuri looks like he's got full energy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuri saying, hey, listen, this bloody nose isn't going anywhere. Yuri on top here. Ryan on the bottom, 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. This men's absolute final match. Yeah, and I agree with you, Rob. I think Yuri may benefit from switching it up and looking to pass maybe on the outside. Pummeling in here on Gordon they keep ending up in the same spot here, and he may benefit from a change in strategy.
Yeah, well, he has to try something different. Like, it's what's been doing hasn't been working. Gordon's winning this fight. It's in, you know, right. Yuri has to try something new. I still feel that
underneath here.
Perhaps the best strategy for Yuri would be to pull guard. I think because he's passed Gordon Ryan's guard before, he feels that that's the recipe, that's his key to win. But just over 2
Yuri
minutes left.
diving through. Nothing doing, though. Ryan recovers with 2 minutes left to go. You know, it was really in these last 2 minutes that Ryan really racked up the points on Yuri in the last match. And Yuri already doing much better in this one than he did in the last one. Like you said before, he may have kind of been able to understand a little bit better some of the things that that Ryan is doing, and stayed out of that honey hole position so far in this match. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see in these next 2 minutes if Ryan is able to take it into that next gear and get a sweep or get into one of those positions that we've seen him use so well so far today.
Yeah, Gordon's got some blood on his leg there, and I think he's asked it to be clean. He's got just under 2 minutes to go. Yuri's looking at his corner there, perhaps looking for an answer.
The one benefit of these breaks is it does give them both a chance to catch the breath, so we're going to see them both at their best.
Yeah, well, I expect Yuri to really, be 100% of his aggression, for the next 2 minutes. He's going to give himself 100% because, like, he's got, he really wants to beat Ryan. This is his chance. He's got 2 minutes to go. It's the final of the Open. He's lost to Ryan twice now, am I correct?
Three
times.
This is the fourth time they fought.
This is his best chance to do it. He's got 2 minutes to do it. Not an easy task. I think that whoever is going to figure out that guard is going to have to go back to the drawing board and look at new strategies. Like, you can't be doing what everyone else is doing. You have to think outside the box. You're going to have to surprise your opponent some way. I'm not saying there's an easy answer, but there is an answer. That is one thing that's been consistent throughout my experience in Jiu-Jitsu, is that every Superman has its kryptonite. It doesn't matter how good you are. Someone's got your number.
Yeah, and when you see new things like this, it usually originates from one camp or one particular competitor, and then you'll start to see people pick it up, and then you get these waves, right? You were talking about earlier, the Barambola or whatever it is, where you'll see it almost seem unstoppable, and people will start saying, well, we need to make rules against this or something like that, and then next thing you know, everybody's got a counter, and
it's the natural progression of the sport. Like, evolution is like that. Everything is frowned upon until everyone figures it out, and then it's just like any other position. Put it like this. There was a moment there where a move as simple as a rear naked choke was revolutionary.
Yeah.
There was a moment somewhere in time where an armbar was the most revolutionary movement ever made, and, it's just that's how these things are. It just makes me curious to see where this evolution is going to go. Where does it end? Is there an end? Is there ever going to be a time where, okay, we got enough jiu-jitsu, we know enough, we can't create anything new? I don't think there's ever going to be a time. Things get recycled all the time, new details added. When I see a lot of these moves, I see variations of old stuff. Like, even what Ryan's been doing today, I see a variation of the tornado guard, or what I always call the helicopter guard, right? That back in the day, Pauleta used to do it. They call it the helicopter. And Gordon's doing something similar. He just adapted it to something else. And a lot of times innovation is not so much it really is innovation. It's not a novelty. It's not something completely new. It's just an adaptation of something old. Yuri needs to score that advantage, score points, submission, needs something. Yes.
And now we're really seeing things crank up as we expected here in these last 2 minutes here. You're really trying to put the heat on Ryan here. It is dead even. Ryan with a slight edge with the advantage over Yuri, but Yuri now pummeling in here on the legs of Ryan. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. Ryan looking to rotate underneath with a kiss of the dragon. Maybe looking to set up that tornado sweep, set up to the honey hole.
Yuri needs to sprawl. Yeah, he's starting to figure out a way to sprawl on that move. He's done it before. Let's see if he can do it again. With 50 seconds left, Ryan's winning this fight. Can Yuri shut him off and do something? Score a point, submission advantage, anything that would potentially give him the win.
The angle that Yuri has right now makes it really difficult for Ryan to use the strength that he has there because he's got a bit of an angle here.
Ryan is really strong in that position. You got to give it to the guy.
Yuri got himself out of there, but he's got to do more than get himself out of that position to win this match.
Yeah, see if Yuri can get close enough to maybe go for a draw. 15 seconds left. It looks like Ryan's going to secure this win here by advantage. Yeah, and Yuri close to the pass, not quite. Yeah, I'm going to go with no advantage there.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was.
I
think it was close. One of the refs gave advantage. I could see why it would almost be, but I don't think it was close enough to passing to justify the advantage.
And it is the closest margin of victory for Gordon Ryan here at this tournament. Every other match has been a little bit
Patrick Gaudio was.
He actually had 2 advantages scored at the end of the Gaudio match because of the back take and the sweep.
Yes, well.
But it was the closest actual match. I agree.
Yeah, Gaudio was probably closer to winning overall, but because he remember he was winning to the very end.
Yeah, he was winning until about the last 30 seconds.
Guys, this was incredible. So Yuri with that single, that's the advantage that gave Gordon the win there. I don't know, man. Tyler.
I mean, man, listen, I've seen people do more and get less.
Get less, exactly. I'm gonna go with that was an advantage.
And but I'm gonna be fair in saying I don't think that Yuri at the end had an advantage either for trying to get past and Gordon being inverted. I mean that's people play guard from there. People set up triangles from there. But nevertheless, Gordon Ryan is double gold here at the NoGi World Championships 2018. Robert, it's been a lot of fun calling the action with you over this weekend.
Likewise, Tyler, it was a pleasure. It's my first time commentating for Flow. Hopefully it won't be the last. I had a blast. This was one of the most exciting competitions I've ever seen.